One question that's been on everyone's mind for many, many years. What became of Cleopatra's lost egg? And if an egg is on the tip of your tongue, you might be a bad fertility doctor. But this question is finally answered in Red Notice, a Netflix original written and directed by Rawson Marshall Truber. And if you think I didn't have to write that name down so I didn't screw it up, like I butchered it right there, then you don't know me very well. But this stars Rock the Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, who I always call Gal Gadot because I'm just a bit of a dick like that, and Ritu Arya, and many others in this espionage-y, action-y, Dwayne-y, Rocky, Ryan-y, art gallery film, if you will. I'm working hard on these puns, please laugh. And man, it's got a hell of a goddamn budget behind it and quite a bit of star power. I mean, you have Rock the Dwayne Johnson, the man that raised the people's eyebrow and did the people's elbow and the rock bottom and did all the crazy goddamn shit in the world of WWE. And now he's the biggest action star, one of the biggest Hollywood stars in the fucking world. $7 production helped fund this because if you don't know anything about Rock the Dwayne Johnson, you would know that he always talks about having $7 to his name when his football career ended, and he has since become, again, one of the biggest action stars in the fucking world. Seriously, it's fucking amazing, astonishing how much money this guy has made and how many people he's helped and just how many goddamn movies he's made like this. And Red Notice is not wholly original. In fact, if anything, it's pretty goddamn basic with a whole bunch of flashbacks to just explain anything that might be a bit of a plot hole. Oh, we have a plot hole? Flashback. Wait, how'd this character escape? Flashback. Wait, flashback, flashback, flashback. We just get a whole bunch of that stuff. I will say that while it sounds like I'm critiquing this movie, while it is not the best thing that I've seen all year, it is a whole lot of fun because you have Rock the Dwayne Johnson, you have Ryan Reynolds doing some comedic banter in really good fashion with some pretty good writing, and you have Gal Gadot, who is fucking gorgeous. She's just really fucking gorgeous and having a hell of a time in this movie. One actress that really, stood out to me, Ritu Arya. I've seen her in something, but I can't, exactly pick what. So if you know stuff she's been in that's good, please let me know in the comments. I'll get into spoilers in a little bit, but basically, there is the search for Cleopatra's lost egg because Mark Anthony, no, not the pop singer, not Balamos, no, wait, that's somebody else. Anyway, Mark Anthony decided to get Cleopatra, his wife, his beloved, so many bedazzled eggs. Well, not so many, just 3, because otherwise they wouldn't be just searching for 3 eggs, they'd be searching for way more. And I can only imagine how this conversation went when the egg was lost. Mark, hey babe, I lost this egg or whatever. I put it in a safe space, but do you happen to just want the 2 eggs? No, babe, I want all 3 eggs. We gotta go to this ball. I want to carry all 3 eggs. I want to juggle them because that's just what I want to do. Cleopatra should be a juggler. When in doubt, go for the juggler. Okay, well, babe, it's in a safe space. I don't remember. We're gonna have to look for it. Okay, you look for it. Wait, actually, we'll look for it. Let's do it together. Narrator, they never fucking found it. So anyway, we flash forward to modern times because it would be really weird if Rock the Dwayne Johnson was in old times. This isn't The Mummy Returns or The Scorpion King. Thank fuck. That's all I'm going to say. Even though those movies were fine, we don't get any PS2, computer graphics involving The Rock on a scorpion's body. We do get some special effects and a few things that were a little bit weird. And I will say that this movie is not perfect. There are some issues that I do have, but it's breezy, it's fun, and sure, it's mainly a movie of convenience as far as plot holes being sewn up and filled with a whole bunch of cement and everything, filled with flashbacks. Oh, this is how this happened. Because what else are you going to do in a spy movie when spy movies have been done to death and death and death? And no Spy Kids involved. No thumb soldiers, just a lot of expendable people. And no, not even the cast of The Expendables. So, Dwayne is and I'm just going to call it Rock, Dwayne, whatever, Rock the Dwayne Johnson. He is an Interpol agent named John Hartley. Oh, Hartley. It's like, yeah, hello, Hartley. No, if you get that reference, I love you guys. He is trying to stop the, the acquisition of Cleopatra's eggs, which basically the idea comes down that somebody wants to get all 3 of these eggs to give to somebody where they're going to get a lot of millions of dollars and they're going to be able to retire to a life of religious and, likely theft-filled freedom. But, of course, there is a thief named Booth, played by Ryan Reynolds, who does a lot of comedy stuff and, manages to, have some chasey scenes and everything. And then him and John have some interplay, the Interpol interplay, if you will. And what ends up happening is the Bishop, played by Gal Gadot, she comes into this mix, and there's all these double crosses, triple crosses, and double, triple crosses and everything. It's like a freaking triple Lutz. It's like ice skating, except there's no judges being paid off like in the Olympics many years ago. The Canadian couple should have won that goddamn thing. Moving on. This ends up with John having to clear his name and him having to align with Booth and get after the Bishop and do a whole bunch of stuff. And they have to find these convenient ways to like steal all this stuff, to be able to steal the eggs to clear the name. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But then again, in a spy movie with this much star power and this much money behind it, it does have quite a bit of money behind it. It is really fucking hilarious just how much money The Rock's movies make. Even the ones that end up failing end up still, doing something where he somehow can continue to make more money than any federal government out there. By the way, if the director's name sounds familiar, he directed Dodgeball, a true underdog story. Thankfully, no Ben Stiller in a fat suit. More in the pity. We get We're the Millers, because he also did that, and Central Intelligence and Skyscraper. So he's worked with The Rock before. But yes, there are chase scenes, there's action scenes, there's shootouts, there's all this stuff, there's all this comedy between Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds, kind of harkening back to The Rundown with Seann William Scott, and at the time, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, not Rock the Dwayne Johnson like he is now. And yes, you get the double crosses, all this stuff, and it just piles up, and it eventually wraps up where maybe they talk about possibly having a sequel, maybe they don't. You don't know, because I'm going to talk about that in spoilers. But is the movie fun? Yes, a lot of fun. In fact, it's just a notch below Gunpowder Milkshake, because that was a little more stylish than this. There are a few times where I'm like, a lot of the action scenes sort of blend together, even though they're breezy and they're well done. Some of the special effects are good. Some of the special effects are ridiculous. There's this one particular scene in a Roman Coliseum. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, where I'm like, aha, somebody's hearkening back to his days in WWE. And spoiler, it's The Rock, because nobody else, to my knowledge, was in WWE, even the stunt people. I don't know, maybe possibly. And also, there is a subplot about The Rock not getting along with his dad. And I get the feeling that's going to be kind of, worked and hammered into our goddamn skulls, because, let's be honest, Rocky Johnson was a piece of shit. And fuck Rocky Johnson, I'm glad he's dead. I'm glad he produced The Rock, because The Rock has given us a lot of entertaining moments where Rocky Johnson, look it up, kids, was a piece of shit. But this movie, fun, great, breezy, and, well-paced. It is well-paced. It does kind of have, just the character motivations are a little bit weird. Like, okay, why would this person do this? Why would they do that? Oh, they're thieves. Maybe they're not. Maybe they are. I mean, it's pretty obvious to figure it out. The plot is not deep, even though they try to make it deep. But the movie, again, breezy, fun, and well done. So I would recommend checking it out. It is on Netflix. But I'm going to get into spoilers in just a second. But I will say, see it. Well worth it. Good stuff. But anyway, spoilers. We're getting into spoilers now. So this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. Okay. So, yeah, The Rock actually is an Interpol agent and is working with the Bishop, Gal Gadot, going so far as to get trapped in a prison to get Booth to tell him where the location of the third egg is, because Booth is a really smart thief, to the point where he managed to steal the second egg by recreating one, and doing, like, where you could pour Coke solution on it and it would, it would melt away. And fun fact, we used Diet Coke at the movie theater I worked at to take the stuff off, or take the, stuff off of the hot dog roller. Just to give you an idea of what Diet Coke can do to your stomach lining. This isn't a health update, because believe me, I'm pretty goddamn unhealthy, but you might want to think twice about drinking diet soda. It's kind of bad. But, John, he pursues him and, is talking to Booth, and then they end up getting double-crossed, because even though they get the second egg from Booth's house, it turns out that the Bishop is actually on this team. Now, how would she be able to get on the team? Aha! Oh, yeah, he's working with her. We find that out at the end of the movie. They get trapped in the prison. They escape this Russian prison, which is really, really hard to say for some reason. They escape, in a helicopter, and then we get a bridge too far, like he's trying to climb and he's trying to do all this stuff, and it's kind of funny. But they go from Rome, if you want to Russia around the world. It's like the Russia Chernobyl castle, if you will. And we go to many locations. We go to Bollywood singers, and that actually was from Get Shorty, if you remember that right. That was actually kind of hilarious. So after this whole thing of not a cop, not a cop, and the Russian people get all upset and they manage to escape. Like the Russian prisoners are just fighting with the police in hilarious fashion. And teamwork makes the dream work. And also, you can just throw soap in something, in a solution and create nitroglycerin and put it down the laundry chute, and you can cause an explosion. Again, kind of a movie of convenience. So, again, Gal Gadot, fucking sexy as hell. Good lord. She looked really good in this. And also Rita, but she did well as far. I'm not the biggest fan of her. I don't get the world of hype, like thinking she's one of the greatest actresses, but she sunk her teeth into this. Just letting that middle image sit right there for her sinking her teeth into something. Not that I would, but anyway. Ritu Arya is a cop who's trying to pursue. She's like, okay, this guy's actually doing this, or maybe he's not, but I don't believe that he didn't have something to do with it. Let me pursue all of them, because I've got all these cops and all these people with me. And there was one line that kind of gave it away from Rock the Dwayne Johnson's character. I'm a good guy, but sometimes I do bad things. So the bishop would always show up conveniently, and then we would find out why. So they do this. They're at this party, and they manage to get the second egg. And then it turns out, oh no, Bishop is with this guy. No, she's not with this guy. They're in a Roman Colosseum. Because of course they're in a Roman Colosseum. Because why the fuck wouldn't they be in a Roman Colosseum? I did like how Rock was in a Tai Chi mask, and that's for the any New Japan fans I haven't been watching this. And then the guy that she double crosses, the guy that she was going to double cross anyway, he's like all poisoned, and there's like a slip all the point, and then he's trying to shoot at somebody even though it's toxic. And they end up in the Roman Colosseum where we have a computer generated bull. The Brahma bull against the bull. Stuff's so subtle, it's like a hit to the head. Ow. But it turns out that they both have backstories with their dads, John and Nolan. Nolan had a dad that loved to watch more than he did. We find out why a little bit later. And John, again, Rock the Dwayne Johnson, didn't get along with his dad. He was a con man, didn't come home on his 13th birthday. So, it turns out in April 1945, when the Nazis were about to get destroyed, Rudolf Zeig, who was the art and crafts dealer that Mr. Adolf had something to do with. No, not Adolf, not the funny Adolf from Jojo Rabbit. Boy, that movie was a trip. Had the third egg and traveled to Argentina with all these artifacts, ancient artifacts. My heart's a stereo. Sorry, that was a bit of a flashback. It turns out that the watch was actually Rudolph's. And Rudolph, the Red Reich, watchman, boy, that really was a struggle. He took all this stuff, including cars and fancy shit, that he put in his bunker in Argentina. Why? Who the fuck knows? But it's there for convenient set pieces. Dwayne Indiana Jones. It's the Dwayne Rock Johnson show. Might as well just have some fun with this because the movie was having fun. This bunker has hydropower, electric power. Why the fuck would it? Inconveniently modern lights, but then they get into the vault, and oh, the bishop's there. Well, then they escape, via a chase with a whole bunch of people chasing through these mines and everything, and this beautiful old 1931 Mercedes, a replica. And don't go chasing waterfalls, especially with cars. You don't want to do that. Don't have the cars chasing waterfalls. The cars made their own music. Stop trying to make the Cars versus TLC mashup happen. It's not going to happen. And then it turns out that, well, Nolan was like, I'm going to go do this. And oh, I got to go rescue him because he thinks that John drowned in the water. No, he didn't. It looks like a resort hotel pool, so I don't know how he could have fucking drowned in it. But then it turns out, oh no, they're working together. 2 bishops in chess and a whole lot of pawns. And then they go to the Cairo lavish wedding, and they got their $300 million. And the daughter that was getting married popped for Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran here for no damn reason. He did have one funny line though when the thing went tits up and everybody got arrested. I'm Ed Sheeran, bitch. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it did. And then 6 months later, they're in a boat, the banana boat. John and the bishop, that is. We never actually find out Gal Gadot's name. Granted, with How She Looks, we really don't need to know the name of this character because we're just going to look and be in absolute awe of this beauty. And it turns out, oh, Booth is here. He escaped from the cops and then made a deal with them, and the cops were here on fancy boats, but hey, he has a deal. 3 people are going to steal something, so let's have a sequel. That's literally it. So yeah, I'm not going to say the movie's necessarily great, but you know what? It's fun, it's breezy, and it gets a B+. Because I've given grades like that to movies that were less. I give a B to There's Someone Inside Your House. This gets a B+. Again, not as good as Gunpowder Milkshake, but still pretty good overall. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.